Hi, Chris Barker here, Certified Financial Planner with Maya Wealth. Wanted to just make a really brief video that gives you a little bit of a face-to-face with me, or I guess just a face since I'm not looking at yours. But I wanted to give you just a brief overview of what I do, the financial planning process. And rather than getting into how I like to snowboard and golf and love my family and where I live and things like that, thought we'd just dive into a little bit of what the financial planning process looks like for just a normal client coming through the door, and give you a little bit more information on making a smart decision when selecting a financial planner. So thanks for checking out this video, and we'll hop right into a couple of slides. So our 5-step financial planning process is not only designed to tell us kind of where we are in the financial planning journey, but determine also where we need to go in order to be satisfied with our financial plan. Step 1, get to know you and your specific goals. And so this is what I would liken to if you have a map, for example, you're determining where you want to go. That's very, very important. And so we want to spend some time doing that right off the bat. How that looks is usually like a 15-minute introductory phone call. And then from that phone call, we pivot into a longer sort of feelings and fact-finding process. So that second meeting takes about an hour or so. Step 2 is that we gather information from you for a detailed analysis. And this both comes from qualitative and quantitative sources. So where do you feel about where you want to be in 5 years would be qualitative, and quantitative we'd be asking you for some kind of statement or something that we can use to run an analysis for, say, investments or projecting where you're going to be as far as asset accumulation in the future. Step 3A, so I split step 3 kind of into 2 steps, because step 3B is sometimes optional, but step 3A is analyze your current financial status. And so this is sort of happening in the second step and first step, where I'm starting to get a better idea of what some of the issues might be, or some areas that I can maybe come in and provide an additional level of value to what you may already be doing, and then analyzing it to a further degree using some sophisticated software and things along those lines. And now step 3B comes in with the financial housekeeping piece, where sometimes there's some stuff that we really don't need a whole lot of sophisticated software to help you solve. Say you're not putting anything into your 401k, and if you put just 5% in, your company would match 10%. Like, that's a no-brainer. Let's do that. And so there are some of those financial housekeeping things. Sometimes it's just as elementary as just budgeting a little bit better. Step 4 is help coordinate and implement recommendations. So that might be setting up an investment account, rolling over an old 401k, getting some term life insurance in place for you and your spouse, or something along those lines. And then where we're going to help you coordinate some of the recommendations that we make are areas that we don't have expertise in necessarily. So you might need a CPA to help you do your taxes the next year and find some additional deductions. We're not CPAs. We don't plan to be, or pretend to be, excuse me. Or say putting a will into place. We're not lawyers. But we know a lot of great ones in the community, and we can help point you in that direction if that's a recommendation that comes out of your plan. Step 5 is, after all that implementation's done, we want to monitor your plan and stay aligned with the goals that you've set out in the beginning. Different things happen in your life that make the plan change. We want to monitor that. And then different things that happen, within the economy, or maybe you have a job change, something that's not quite in your control. We want to make sure we're staying aligned with those goals. Lastly, what we are a 100% fiduciary all the time, not dually registered, not dual registered. So sometimes a financial advisor will say that they're a fiduciary, but it doesn't mean that they have to act in your best interest all the time. We are different. We are completely independent, completely and entirely unbiased, and entirely transparent in every way that we act with our clients. When we do better, you do better. That's it. I hope that this video was informative to you. I hope you got a little bit out of it, at least a little more transparency into how we work and the type of work that we do, and maybe you can start to visualize how I might be able to help you out on your journey to financial prosperity. So thanks again for your time. Thanks for taking a few minutes here to watch. And below this video, you're able to click a little button that will help you or give you access to my calendar rather, where you can find a time to connect for either initial call or an initial hour-long consultation. To me, I'd be happy to meet with you either way. It's wherever you're most comfortable. Sometimes people are like, hey, I just want to date you before I marry you with a 15-minute phone call. Some people are like, I'd like to jump right into a meeting. There's some very urgent things that I want to get taken care of and don't want to mess around with doing the call. So however you're most comfortable, I'm happy to meet you in the middle, and look forward to connecting with you here real soon.